What's up, everybody? This is Colin Dijs. I'm here with Ross McFarlane, and today we'll show you the ultimate budget for native ads, because it might not actually be as high as you think. So we'll take a little Excel file and we will write out for you the requirements for native ads. So with native advertising, we obviously get all the time that it's expensive, you need a lot of money, but this is not necessarily true, because we make two distinctions, especially in the early days where you would have the beginner level and the more advanced level, which I think, you have this all the time, right?
Of course, yeah.
This is overall, I mean, it will come back. So beginner level, anybody who spends less than 10K a month, like a true beginner, and advanced, I would say 100K plus a month, right? Those are the two levels we ideally would define. If you're between these, then you are a little bit more of a beginner, but not really advanced at that stage, right? But the beginners is very much important, because this is the question, right? When we talk about advanced media buying, native advertising, then yes, you can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend, but at that point you would already be making money. So the cash flow is just a cash flow issue, but not like a liquidity issue, right? For the beginners though, the question is, what do you want? Do you want to, and you cannot choose both, which is very, very important. Do you want to learn, right, which option 1, or do you want to make money? That's option 2, right? And this is the ultimate debate, right, continuously. You have two choices, option 1 or option 2. Well, you can make a choice right now. I would say the only choice that you can make is option 1, because it will lead to option 2, and option 2 will lead you up to option 3, which is no money, right? Because there's no option 3.
Yep.
The option 1, learn, is the skill, the mastery. It is something that nobody wants to do, right? Because it will lead to money. I'll give you an example. You spend time in preschool, high school, university, most of you, to learn certain skills, human skills, to socialize and talk with other beings, but also to craft a profession. You spent maybe 6 to 10 years in school creating a profession, a field of interest. And it pays you an average salary of around $2,000 per month, right? $3,000 per month, depending on what kind of profession you have. Now you want to study this for 1 month, and then you expect to make 10 grand per month, right? The correlation between the two elements must say that you do not have sufficient knowledge, right? Just makes sense. Yes, it's only one method within the affiliate or media buying space. However, the knowledge part is so important, which we stress on the coaching, right? It's all the time, knowledge, it's skill, it's mastery, it's craftsmanship. And it's not necessarily just throw money in this bitch and make it rain. That would be great. However, that's not necessarily the case. So first you need to make a choice, learn or money. Well, we always go here, which I'll make a little green. And if you go for the money, ultimately you'll fail sooner or later. You might be extremely lucky and it might go well for a while, and at the end you'll fail, right? Because you need to want to know everything, and then the results automatically money, right? Now you have a choice. And this is where the tier geos come in. So the tier geos are like, this is what we use in advertising to distinct certain countries in the world. So I'll give you some examples. Tier 1 is US, UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, Finland. It's countries with high CPM, high cost per 1,000 impressions. So the relative, because always compared to something else, relative costs are high, right? Then we have tier 2 countries, like, for example, let me think, Poland. Yeah, there we go. Bulgaria, depends on how far to Eastern Europe you go, but these are some examples. The tier 2, like Mexico, for example, where you have like lower CPM, right, and relatively lower cost. And then you have like tier 3, like Thailand, India, you have South Africa, and all kinds of geos, which basically have the lowest CPM and relatively low cost. All right, so we all know that in the tier 1, it costs the most, but also most money is made, right? Here little money is made, and here almost no money is made. The question now, basically the dilemma, right, which you will be offered is, if you would choose to go tier 1, you would need, and I will give you the certain budgeting, right? So it's not necessarily a problem. If you want to know the exact amount, just scroll later into this video and then we'll see the specific amounts. But for you to understand this, it's very important, I think, where if you choose tier 1, then you're focused on money. If you choose tier 2 and tier 3, you're focused on learning. Why? Because in this example, you will learn the same thing in both 3 geos. Yes, like 90% will be the same and 10% will be different. But as long as the majority of the concepts are the same, applying the rules, how things work, you're basically learning for a lot cheaper. Let me give you an example, yes, where we do pick up the CPMs, right? So it's a CPM. So here it's $10, the average CPM, for example. Here it's $2, and this is $0.1, right? So basically here, you will be able to grasp 5 times more knowledge, right? Because for the same spend, you get 5 times more data, because $2 divided by 10 is 5, right? And in this example, you would get 100 times more knowledge. It's not directly correlating one-on-one to data knowledge, but let's say here you get twice the amount of knowledge, and here you get, let's say, 20 times the amount of knowledge. Because you just get more data, you can experiment more, you can run more campaigns on the same budget, right? We assume that when you are learning as a beginner, focused on learning, the money you spend will not return, right? So ad spend doesn't recoup, or it recoups very little. Usually you recoup in the initial stage about 30 to 50%, right? So you spend $100 on ads, you make $50 in conversions, you go minus $50, right? At some point, there will be a turnaround point and you start making money. However, if you, let's say, have $100, you can only buy 10,000 impressions in tier 1, and you can buy so much more, you know, 50,000 impressions in tier 2 already. So based on the impressions and the data you gather, you'll just have so much more of a coherent system, right, Ross?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, looking at that, a lot of people like focus on the money, which obviously is what most people do. But you are, when starting in tier 2 or tier 3, especially as a beginner and no marketing experience whatsoever, the knowledge that you're gaining for as little investment as possible is like 100-fold compared to just focusing on the money, focusing on the green, but learning the skill, lifelong skill. I had to get that one in there because it's a lifelong skill. Once you know this shit, it's just going to bear fruits so much more than actually focusing on $100 or $100 a day, 200, 500 a day in the first 2 to 3 months. Like, it's just, if you just be more realistic and more long-sighted than short-sighted, it's you're going to reap the rewards so much more.
Right. And it's not necessarily a better way, you know, any way that would suit your business to make progress and make it profitable would be the right way. So we're not saying that this is the only way to do things, just some advice based on, you know, again, when looking at the data, we this year alone, so now last year we were up like 21,000 companies. This year we're up to about 23,500 companies that we have trained and analyzed. Of course, there's a specific pattern there, right? You're looking at millions of dollars in ad spend, which is just wasted, because let's say you have $10,000. You don't start in tier 3 because it's too small. You start in tier 2, right? You spend maybe $1,000, $2,000. Now you learn what to do. You can always move to tier 3. It's not going away, right? But to go from tier 1 to tier 2, it's a lot more difficult than go from tier 2 to tier 1, right? Because all of a sudden, if you go from tier 1 to tier 2, you get a huge influx of data, right? 5 times more data. It will be extremely difficult to read. And if you reduce the amount of data by 5 times, it's a lot more easy to read because you can already handle an extreme amount of data points, right? Which I would say, then you can just, even in a lower budget, you hop here, you make some money, you'll hop here, and you just build up your cash flow. And that's basically what it comes down to. The net decision maker is always cash flow, right? So you either have the money to go for tier 1 or you don't, right? Where I would say Native ads tier 1 bring at least $10,000 to the table. 10,000. Because you'll waste some of this money. You need some money to keep campaigns going. So I would say you run this on 500 a day, right? And you can only run this for 20 days in this scenario, right? So yeah, okay, let's make a smaller campaign. We can do 250, but we cannot do less than 250 a day. So you can run for 40 days. That's only a month and 10 days, right? It's not significant. Then for tier 2, we can immediately drop it to 2,500 because the costs are just significantly less. And here you could do 500, right? So what's very important to note is that the ideal budget, which I know everybody's going to hate me for this, but ideal budget, I would say, give me 100 grand here, give me 10 grand here, and give me at least 5 grand here. In this scenario, you can never guarantee anything. You need a proper brain, you need some media buying experience, but you can almost guarantee success with these kind of numbers, right? Because you just cannot go wrong if you bring so much cash flow to the table. Even if you waste 10%, 20%, there's just a huge chunk of money left to play around with, quote unquote. And the understanding for people to say, but tier 2 and tier 3 are not as profitable, that is not true, right? Because the CPM, the cost of the traffic, will always be relative to the payout. So if the CPM is okay, let's sum up the tiers again. Okay, so these were the CPM prices, right?
Yeah.
So this is a little debate.
One quick caveat as well, Colin, is what a lot of people who come in and come through is they want to go straight to tier 1 on a limited budget, which is fine. It's up to them. It's their choice. They can do what they want to do. But if they do that, there's much more of an emotional attachment to that money. Like, so the more emotion that we bring to a data-driven business is like, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Definitely. And that's obviously a huge problem that just repeats itself over and over again.
Yeah.
So here, the CPM, you can see the payouts are relative. So this could all be the same offer, right? It could be like a neutral product. In tier 1, it pays $100 a product. In tier 2, it only pays $25. Why? It's the same product. Well, because these people in these countries have less purchase power, but the traffic is also cheaper because not as much money is being made. In tier 3, the same product is $4. Why? Because there's a lot less purchase power. So these things are relative, right? So if you spend $10 on traffic, make 1 conversion, or you spend here $10 on traffic and make 20 conversions, the total revenue or net profit value, numeric value, could be the exact same, right? However, here you get 1 conversion and here 1,000, or at least 100, right? Or if 4 conversions, here 100, right? So you get a lot more data in tier 3, tier 2 as well, compared to tier 1. And therefore, if your main job as a native media buyer, once you got hang of the testing phase, and that's just basically follow preset rules, it's just reading data. That's what you do all day. Read the data and make decisions based on the data. So if you're asking me, now we have walked through this entire flow, what is the one thing I need to learn? It is data analysis. To do data analysis, you want as much data as possible because the law of big numbers, right? Let me Google that for you, law of big numbers. This is like a basic theory. The more data you have, the more accurate as the mean comes when the sample size grows, right? It's one of the best theories you can apply to data. You flip a coin 50 times or 100 times, 50 times in the morning, 50 times in the evening, the odds are going to equal out to basically 50%, 50%. It's like 49.99999, 50.100000111, right? It depends on how many times you flip it, but that's because it has 2 sides. It's very unlikely for it to ever land on its side. It might happen 1 in 100 million flips, right? So what is important is the answer then is get more data. And if you look at these prices, where would you get more data if you know that it's unlikely that you'll make money because you're a beginner? Well, here, obviously, right? Okay, but I don't want too much data because my goal is to run in tier 1 one day. And I want something which is more likely to tier 1. Okay, then choose the middle ground, right? And there's no best scenario. You have to see what fits your business. All these people, especially you watching this video right now, you go on YouTube, You type in what's the best budget for native, and these guys are saying, yeah, you need at least 25 grand. You don't know what they run, you don't know their experience, you don't know their product, you don't know their cash flow, you don't know their business. All these metrics are very important, and all the metrics are basically laid out here. So in my opinion, you can start tier 1 native with 10 grand, right? But if you would come to me as a client and you say, how much should I bring where you can almost guarantee me success? I'm like 100 grand would be ideal, right? If I would pursue native myself, I wouldn't bring 100 grand. I'll probably bring more like 10 grand. But I would say if I would do this all over again, build my way up to 8 figures in commissions again, I would go with this route. Because I think cost effectively in terms of money, learnings, knowledge, relationship management, offers, availability, all the sub variables taken into consideration, I think this is your best bet to learn fast. And the faster you learn, the faster you'll get to the money. Because at the end of the day, all the amount of knowledge you can obtain and data you can process on a daily basis. And then there's time, right? It's like a little formula. This is like time times knowledge gathering is potential profit, right? Like this. It's just a simple formula.
It's even, there's always so much more mechanics in the background as well, like even small little things like what you picked up on there, like relationship building with account managers, affiliate account managers, all these little things that when running straight into tier 1, like account managers can have a big bearing on offers, and depends on which exchanges, whether you're running on a DSP or direct, or whether you're doing whitelists, blacklists, whatever that may be. Those type of relationships can have a bearing on a campaign, and starting in a tier 2 country, you can know how to talk to these people because they're business people, and build up relationships and work your way up to getting to that top level.
But I mean, there's so many variables, you know, where people obsess with payout, with EPC. But if you cannot even make a choice between these two options, right, which is the core focus of your business, then relationship management, EPC, CPM, all these other metrics, which sound really cool, they don't really mean anything, right? Yeah, because you cannot have success by choosing number 2. You know, we've had thousands of students who've chosen number 2, right? And I would say the percentage that has success is less than 1%, right? Because some people, they're just great at what they do, right? They launch a campaign, they're profitable at the start, it goes well, they choose money, they just keep pushing. But all these people are under 20 years old. How come? Because they take extreme risk, right? To get an extreme payoff. Most people are not geniuses, right? We can just be, I'm not a genius, I'm not a smart guy, I'm a crafty guy, I have some street skills where it's just like, I choose to learn something first, I investigate it, I look at it, but I do take action, right? And if you don't take action, then you're still again here. You're just focused on the money by itself and don't understand that the initial investment will come out of your pocket, and then it's time, right? So it's even time times knowledge gathering times spent is potential profit, right? So this is dollar spent. All right, I think that's everything for today. I think this sums it up pretty well. Everybody, take your screenshot of this beautiful overview right now, because this is the budgeting for native ads. This is our recommended budget of the day. If you want to run native ads, this is where you should focus, right? I think this is a good sum up. And if you have any questions on your specific situation, feel free to sketch it out in the comments down below. Russ, thank you for being here. Everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.